Welcome back for engineering visualization channel. Okay, now we are seeing the next topic, that is section of right circular cones. Okay, what happens when the cones cones were cutted using that section plane? Okay, so what we call here, the section obtained by intersection of right circular cone by a plane in different positions related to the axis of the cone are called conic sections. Conic sections are conics. We calling that as conic sections are conics here. Okay, so here one by one with respect to the explanation we are going to see it. Here you can see that section plane here parallel to the base and cutting all the generators. Here the conic sections what we are getting, it is a circle. Okay, conic section what we are getting, it is a circle. And you can see here the section plane here, it is inclined to the axis and having, and it is cutting one side of the apex. The curve after getting that this particular section what we getting, that is an ellipse here. Okay, ellipse. The same way here we can see the angle you have to consider here. The angle of inclination for this section plane given, it has to be greater than the axis of this right circular base of the cone, then only we can get the ellipse. You can see in the next diagram here, here what happens, the section plane, it is parallel to one of the generator and it is cutting one side of the apex. Here the curve of intersection what we are getting, that is parabola. But you can see here the angle of inclination which is given to the section plane and the base of this cone with respect to the generator having the same inclination, then only we are getting this, the conic section, it is a parabola here. Okay, the next one what you are seeing here the section plane, it is cutting with respect to the one side of the this cone, and then here it is cutting with respect to the, here you can see when the section plane cuts the base here and it is cuts the base, and the generators on one side of the axis and area of intersection is a hyperbola. Okay, here you can see the difference between these two here it is parallel. Okay, here it is parallel to this generator. Here it's not parallel to this generator. Instead you can see the difference in angle also. Here angle of inclination to this section plane, it is greater than the angle of inclination for this base of the cone. Okay, then only we can get the intersection, that is the section what we get here, it is an hyperbola. Next you can see the fifth one here. In the section plane, it is parallel to the axis of the plane. You can see here the section plane here, it is parallel to the axis of the cone, and curve of intersection is a right angular hyperbola. This is what the right angular hyperbola what we are getting. Then the final one what you can see here, when the section plane passes through the apex, here you can see that this is what your apex is, passes through the apex and base of the cone, and the section what we are getting, it is a triangle. Okay, when we are doing the section of solids, in the case of cone, we need to consider all these parameters. Okay, based on that parameter, we will get the type of the section here. Okay, you can see that here the section plane, it is parallel to the base and cutting all the generators. Here the section plane, it is inclined to the axis. Okay, and angle of inclination for the section plane, it is greater than the angle of this base of the cone. We get the ellipse. Here you can see the section plane parallel to one of the generators cutting on one side of the apex of the cone, but the angle of inclination here for the section plane and for this base of the cone, it is same. We get the section, it is parabola. And then the next one what we are seeing here, this is section plane cutting on one side, but it is not parallel to the generator. Instead the angle of inclination given for the section plane greater than the angle of the base of the cone. Here the section what we are getting, it is hyperbola. Next, in that you can see here the section plane, it is parallel to the axis. Okay, parallel to the axis, and it is cutting the base of the axis, base of the cone also. The section plane what we are getting, it is an rectangular hyperbola. Next, in the final one what you can see here, it is section plane cutting the apex at the end point of this cone. Okay, apex, and here the section plane cutting the apex also and the base of the cone, and here angle of inclination for this section plane will be greater than the base of the cone, and the section what we are getting, the conic section what we are getting, it is a triangle. Okay, so you can subscribe for this channel, hit on the like button and hit on the bell icon for the latest notifications, and share it to the maximum students so that they can be benefited. Thank you all. Thank you for watching the video.